It's mid-December here in Texas, which means two things. Steve Nessl of Yamaha Outdoors is in camp, and the whitetail rut is in full swing.
Well, we are outside Brackenville, Texas, the Whitetail Diaries deer camp in the month of December, in what has become, for me, kind of a tradition, coming out to chase whitetail during the rut. And as always, coming in looking for a trophy deer. Problem is you never really know where those deer are gonna be. They're just not in their patterns. Everything you've done leading up to the rut, and even some of the stuff you'll do after the rut, is really just out the window. You hope that the deer you're looking for, or that you think is going to be in a certain setup, a certain area of a property is going to be there, but you don't expect him to be there when he was there before. It's just not doing what they normally do, right? We know what they're trying to do, we know what they're after, and we know what we expect to see bucks doing when we get into a setup at the peak of the rut. And this year really wasn't any different. Coming in, I actually got in really, really late. We actually pulled a little bit of an audible, and instead of going to hunt what I would say would originally be my spot, which was the Big Bluff, we got up in camp the first morning and went out to one of my favorite spots, which is the Killing Tree. At our sit that morning, we saw a young 10-point. Never had the urge, knew better. Couple does, I think maybe a small spike or a button buck, but that's about it. I think we saw 4 or 5 deer. It was a good morning. Fun morning, but it wasn't productive. We really needed to get on some deer. We really wanted to get a good deer on the ground here in the rut. And you know, one of the better deer that he'd seen on camera out near the Big Bluff on another ranch that we hunt nearby. And the idea was, let's go sit that spot. And I love sitting that spot because you're on the ground, you're overlooking a big expansive area. You can watch the deer messing around going away from you. You can watch them as they're coming in. They pop up on you from underneath. It's just awesome. It's a fun place to sit. And he'd seen a good deer over there, and he's like, let's go, you know, it's a rut. We don't know. We honestly don't know if he'll show up. So you're kind of rolling the dice to go sit there and see if you could just be there in the window that he decides to come through. You marry that to, he's probably got other things on his mind with does coming through too, and you're hoping that you just get a chance to see him.
With it being the rut, there's no telling whether or not that buck will even make an appearance, but there's always plenty of action to pass the time during the rut. It's not to be unexpected during the rut that a target whitetail buck isn't seen as planned, as bucks often expand their home ranges in search of does to breed, and well, when they do, you often never see that buck again.
We pretty much had in mind, though, that we weren't going to leave that place. You talk about getting a deer in a window, we just didn't hit the window. So let's come back in the morning, see if that's going to be our window. If he's going to come by, maybe we catch him running a doe up into the area. So we literally left some of our gear in that spot. Left our chairs there, I left the bog pod there, and we came back knowing full well that unless the skies opened up and we had to scramble for whatever reason, weather looked good, we were going to be back at the Big Bluff the next morning. We're about to get in the RMAX and head out. We want to get in and get quiet when it's dark, but we don't want to be sitting there for too long. We're hunting a specific deer. He's a big one, but he's not patterned. It's a rut. He just comes into this area sometimes several times a day at random, odd times. So we're really kind of rolling the dice, but we actually have lots of options. You need to take a doe. There's always management deer to be culled as well. So it's just a beautiful place to sit. Hopefully the big guy walks in, and if he doesn't, we'll see what else we see. And nothing happens this morning. We got the afternoon, nothing wrong with any of that. Pretty soon, it started to get light. Not only did it get light, we started to see a lot of cool stuff out in front of us. midway through the sit, Jeff saw a 10 disappear into the bottom, couldn't find him. We waited for a while. We really did. From about 9 till about 10:15, 10:20, we're starting to say, well, it's slowed down. We didn't hit the window this time. We start talking about, are we gonna come back to the Big Bluff tonight? Probably not. Let's let it rest, go try a different spot. I think at 10:20, I asked Jeff, I said, are you ready to go? Are you getting antsy? He's like, no, actually, I'm pretty comfortable. And I'd have to venture no less than 2 minutes later, he freaks out. He said, there's our buck.
Yep. He's bigger on his left side than he is on his right. That's a good deer. I'd like for him to put that leg up. You ready?
Stoned him. Sucker's got some long tines.
He's a big one. He's a big one. Oh, it shakes.
That's
I can't find him. I can't find him in my scope right now.
He's on the other side of that cactus.
He's right there. That's all I care about.
That's the one we seen way up there a while ago.
I think so.
It is.
I don't. There's obviously several good bucks in this area. What a morning. What a morning.
That was quite a morning.
There's a monster down in front of us right now. Holy cow. Ah!
Good shot, man.
Woo! This
Wow.
this is a nice gun. This trigger's beautiful. Holy cow, breaks clean. I mean, I just knew that if I just got it right where I wanted and just nice pull, squeeze, boom, bang, good night. All we gotta do is get the R-Max, go collect him. Yeah. Wow. We'll go get the R-Max and drive to him. I got some adrenaline pumping right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't need this, but we'll take some shots with the TC in a minute. Oh, look at this guy. Oh. Oh, thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Oh. What a stud. Yeah, this guy has been running around this spot, well, for days, but it's in the rut. And we saw him because of these right here, these jutting back twos, running left to right yesterday. Saw him chasing a doe and a buck, chasing a buck off this morning. And just as we're getting ready to leave, well, thinking about getting ready to leave, he walks out and hung out for a minute and just a little too long. What a beautiful spot. We got a bluff over here at Big Bluff. And now we got a very sweet deer on the ground. Thank you, dude. I already told Mr. Wade we got him, so it won't be a surprise when we get back to camp. Man, he comes all the way around, but we will celebrate him for sure. Get him into the RMAX, get him back. Man, he's rutting up. Ox. Oh yeah, yeah, it's that time of year. That time of year when these guys, it can be hard to find. You don't know where they're gonna be, but you can get lucky and they can come into your life, and if you do the right thing by them, you can take them home. My wife, I already texted her, she's already stoked. She's glad to fill the freezer back up. December in Texas, can't beat it.
Put them in the RMAX, one of the first deer that I've been able to put in the all-new RMAX 1000. Came back to camp, celebrated, and notched another deer in the Texas rut.
Congratulations, Steve, on another memorable entry into the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries.